Hey all, Tom here. You know when I'm using that intro, I got something good cooking today. Welcome to another episode of Car Topics Explained. If you don't know me, then hi, I'm Tom the Racing Joker, and this is my 2006 BMW M3 E46. And I am going to be turning it into the best BMW M3 GTR replica a civilian can buy. I've done a few videos on the BMW M3 GTR in the past, and they were pretty successful. And I think it's time I build my own with the knowledge I have. Unlike me, the BMW M3 GTR needs no introduction. Its domination in the 2001 American Le Mans Series, its notoriety that stems from its bespoke flat-plane V8 engine, and its cementation into popular culture thanks to the 2005 classic Need for Speed Most Wanted, all of that has led to the M3 GTR finding its way into the hearts of enthusiasts all around the world. Whether it's thanks to the carbon fiber wide-body exterior, the fire-breathing side exhaust, the V8 engine, or the ear-piercing straight-cut gears, the GTR has something for everyone. Well, I am going to tell you how I'm going to build one. But first, let's roll the clocks back a little bit, because in order to start a project car, you need a car. I got this car back in 2020. It's an old SMG equipped car that I had to do a fair bit of restorative work on the transmission system to, get it working, but now it's driving better than how it did from the factory. First, I flashed the car with a TTFS SMG Tune, that's tuning tech Frank Smith. I did that specifically for the improved automatic rev matching it grants me in downshifting. But then I discovered the compression springs in the SMG transmission were pretty much in pieces, almost turned to dust, and I wasn't able to shift under full, hard acceleration. Maybe I could only really upshift if I was at half or, less than 50% throttle. I opted to replace every wear and tear component on the SMG to allow it to function properly. Whether it be the compression springs, all three of them, the gear position sensor, I've even got a spare hydro unit for when I need it. I also updated the transmission software to what is known as the CSL 255 version. This makes every aspect of the transmission perform just like an M3 CSL. For like a fraction of the price. I don't know why they didn't just use this update for every E46 M3 that came after the CSL manufacture years, but oh well. And in case anyone is wondering or thinks I should do this, now that the car performs as well as it does and it's in the condition it's in, there's no reason for me to do a manual conversion. I actually really like the SMG and it's a lot of fun. Another thing I've got on the car is ARH, or American Racing Headers, long tube headers. They're 6-into-1s, obviously, and I've also got the Rogue Engineering Diablo exhaust. As a result, this car sounds like no other E46 M3 on the street. Also from Rogue Engineering are these GTR wheels. But, there's a but, they look amazing. Nothing against them at all. But because I'll be putting a GTR wide body kit on the car, they're likely going to be replaced with something else. And I think I've already found something because I need wheels that can accommodate 345 tires. But we'll get back to that later. In the spirit of being authentic, I decided to go a level above simply buying a genuine M3 CSL Airbox. There's lots of options out there that are cheaper than the CSL version, like the Carbonius or the Turner Motorsport kit. All of those are fine. You get the cool induction noise, and you have some carbon fiber in your engine bay. If you want to be a bit more genuine, you could get a full-fledged $9,000 to $10,000 CSL Airbox kit. Or you could do what I did and get the M3 GT2/GTR spec carbon airbox you'd find in the P54 equipped inline 6 race cars ran by Schnitzer and PTG, as well as a few other teams. the race car engines. It is 100% carbon fiber and follows the same specs as the original race cars, whereas the CSL version has things like plastic velocity stacks instead of carbon ones, like in mine. To run the Airbox, however, I will simply be using an Alpha N tune that Jordan over RK Tunes helped me with. And that's where the car is sitting right now. But both myself and the car have been invited to attend an awesome event that I can't really talk about in 2025. I'll let you know more about it when I get permission. But what's the plan and the mission of this project, I hear you ask? This car is known as the Black Pearl. When version 1 is completed, it will almost perfectly resemble a PTG spec BMW M3 E46 GT2. For the body kit, we will of course be using the 2M AutoWorks GTR body kit. The fender flares on it are perfect. They match the somewhat blocky design of the original GTR and aren't too rounded and smooth. The front bumper is a replica of the version PTG designed for their M3 GTR race cars because they found the original to not be aerodynamic enough. This is a replica of the exact same body kit or exterior package that is currently on BMW M3 GTR chassis 006. That was the car that was restored for Rolex Reunion. The 2M kit in my order spec costs about $12,000 to $14,000. For the side exhaust, we will be replacing the Section 2 portion of the E46 M3 exhaust system with a 90-degree dual-tip exit out the side with a heat shield in the side skirt just like the original. On the original GTRs, it's not quite a 90-degree turn. It's a smoother bend. They use much more tunneling through the floor. We can't really do that without putting in a roll cage, so we're sticking with the sharper bend so we don't have to do as much cutting in the floor of the car for now. The long tube headers we have will remain on the car because they sound so good, and I imagine they'll sound really good coming out of the side exhaust. And the neat thing about those headers is they already replace the Section 1 of the E46 M3 exhaust system because they're so freaking long. The side exhaust will be approximately $4,500. That's comparing it to the cost to make the side exhaust on the Mostwanted M3 GTR replica. And I'm pretty sure that includes the heat shielding on the outside and all the stuff they did on the inside to protect the wires from the heat of the exhaust. You don't want that to melt or catch fire. And let's not forget, because the car will be so much wider, we'll need some wider wheels to accommodate the new fitment requirements and to support big tires. I'm leaning towards these Forged Club GTR style wheels that they call the HF204. They offer them in a black and silver two-tone design that would look perfect with the purple, black, and chrome livery that I have planned for the car. Those wheels are about, I would say, $6,100. Measurements still need to be made to figure out what exact size they need to be for the body kit. This next detail is very important and is coupled with a fun fact about the original M3 GTRs that you may or may not know. I imagine this is due to the fact that motorsport is a spectator sport. The factory tune on the M3 GTR race cars were actually set up to deliberately spit flames out of the exhaust. They were willing to use just a little bit of extra fuel just to make the cars that much cooler than every other car on the track. And that is the goal for my M3 GTR as well. But rather than your typical pop and bang tune, I'm hoping this is possible since I'm pretty sure the S54 is port injection. I'm hoping not getting it mixed up. We'll be aiming for proper race car fire, just like the GTRs, and nothing else. No crazy pops and bangs, just proper fireballs. And for when the car is being driven for non-exhibition purposes, I'm going to aim for having a separate tune without flames, but have it just be the same amount of power, just to make things a bit more tame on the street and to also maintain longevity of the engine components. My goal is to work with Habibi Motorsports, a local tuner I've worked with in the past. I've had great experiences with them. I really like what they do and I like working with them, and it's been way too long since the last time I've even been to their shop. But I've also always wanted to get one of my cars on their dyno, and I think this is probably the best way to do it. Last and definitely not least is the $6,200 wrap that I cannot wait to put together with the folks over at Protective Film Solutions. Everyone already knows they are the upper echelon company to go to for getting your car wrapped, especially if you're doing something custom, because you can't beat them. You know, they'll do the wrap, it'll turn out fantastic, and then they can do all kinds of protective stuff to make sure that wrap lasts a long time, and even do cool stuff like ceramic coating so that it's easy to clean. Because because I am really bad at cleaning my car, which is sad because my car is black. So, what will the livery be? It will be purple and black with chrome silver accents. It will be borrowing elements of the Need for Speed Most Wanted livery, as you can see from the back, as well as the original race car designs, as you can see on the front. Now, because I'm trying to expedite the process of building the car so it can be done in time for mid-2025, I'm going to be looking for sponsors. I don't really have a choice. Unless if I don't know. Do you guys need a kidney? Do you want one of my kidneys? I don't drink, I don't smoke. They might be in good condition. I don't want to make any promises. This means I'll be getting a lot of external help with the remaining $35,000 to $40,000 approximate dollars, US dollars, of remaining parts and work, kind of depending on the labor costs. So I'm hoping to find some cool people to work with, some cool companies. I kind of want to stick to stuff that's related to automotive things. But if someone, makes a really cool offer to me, I'm sure we can work something out. So, yeah. So apart from the 2025 event, what will this car be used for? What is the main purpose of building an M3 GTR? Is it going to be a garage queen? No. It's simple. Like any good car, it needs to be driven. It is meant to be driven. And as a truck driver, in case you didn't know, I am an over-the-road truck driver. I am no stranger to driving 600 miles a day. 600 miles, 3,000 miles a week, that's my bread and butter. I can't get tired of it. And I want to drive the M3 GTR to a whole bunch of places. I want to use my love of driving long distances, grand touring, cool parts of the country, and, showing you cool parts of the country whilst also teaching you how to properly undergo a long drive. I think I've actually got some good tips and ideas to make your guys' road trips easier. Another fun challenge is we're going to see if I can drive a wide body side exhaust BMW M3 GTR all over America without getting a ticket. I genuinely think I can do it, but that just might be me being really overconfident. We'll see. I think it would be kind of fun to see if after we do like a bit of a tour with the M3, can I avoid getting a ticket? I think I can. I haven't gotten a ticket since I was 19. It's been 6 years, man. I don't know. I think I can do it. Though that I will say, I probably will get pulled over, but I don't think I'll get any tickets. Now, you may have noticed I am not replicating the Need for Speed M3. That's because there are already a ton of great Most Wanted M3 GTR replicas out there that are under construction, or are already completed, and, at the risk of sounding like a Spider-Man meme, I want to do my own thing. And, I'll let them have their replicas, let them have their cool projects, but, I want to build my own car. But remember, we're still only talking about version 1 of this whole project. Ultimately, the long-term plan for version 2 of this car, it'll be on another level. Straight cut gears, a $60,000 to $70,000 flat plane crank BMW V8 from Chris Fletcher, at Fletcher made horsepower, or I could just get their crossplane one, a 4.4 stroker S65 for like about $45,000-$50,000, and that'll also sound amazing. Actually, Fletcher made horsepower is the same company that's currently engine dyno testing my carbon airbox right now. That's pretty cool. They're cool people. They're very knowledgeable. Other things we'll want to do is a welded roll cage system, weld to the chassis just like the original GTRs. We'll probably use a Life Racing standalone ECU. The interior will need to be gutted. We'll have to rework the side exhaust system to make it more efficient, and we'll probably go with a Hollinger SG paddle actuated sequential, or we could go with a Hollinger RD6. They're both $20,000 to $30,000. They're both going to be expensive, but they'll be able to handle the torque and the power just fine. But we got to start small for now, which is why we got version 1, which will be actually also much more streetable. Anyways, I hope you're all excited, because I definitely am. But anyways, that's enough from me. I'm Tom the Racing Joker. If you like what you've seen so far and you've enjoyed this episode of Car Topics Explained, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because unless there's something wrong with you, you'll love what I got planned. Take it easy, everyone. I love you, and bye-bye.